They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.
The credit.
David, you are muted, my friend.
Oh, Donovan, there we go. So welcome to Napoleon Hill Institute.
We are blessed to be here in our Living in a Paradox training. For those of you that would like the exercises, guides, and books for the training today, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Come and join us on the Napoleon Hill Road with Nick of Wam and myself. We'd love to see you in over 200 cities. Just text me if you'd like to be invited, 949-298-2905. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, if you'd like the training guide and exercise from today, the Living in the Paradox training. And we will be in Ramona, California, LA. We have SoFi Masterminds with the Rams, the Chargers, Dallas Cowboys. We have the Aspire Business Tour in Dallas. We are going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Come and join us. We'd love to have you. We do meetups, holding courts, VIP lunches, dinners, even a breakfast or two. Let us join together to help one another and know people to help one another. So thank you for joining me today on the Napoleon Hill Institute training, Living in the Paradox. There is power. And the power exists, called the power of a paradox. In business, leadership, and life, we often are taught to choose to be bold or to be cautious, be strong or be soft, be definiteness in our purpose or drift, be results driven or relationship focused. But what if the most powerful leaders, the most grounded individuals, and the most successful ventures didn't have to choose? They didn't have to choose one side or the other. What if the power of the paradox exists in embracing both? In this training, which once again I'll make available to everyone, david@dmeltzer.com, we'll explore this paradox as not a contradiction, but as a catalyst. We will create the power of this paradox, whether you're navigating a tough decision, leading a team, or pursuing your personal growth, or even learning to lead with the paradox, which will allow you to unlock new levels of clarity, creativity, and calmness. Utilizing non-attachment to humility, reciprocity to reframing failure, allowing us to discover how the ancient teachings of Napoleon Hill and many others are more relevant than ever in our fast-paced, accelerated, aggregated, and compounding world of the hyper-connectivity of this world. The first lesson of the power of the paradox is, how do we embrace these opposites? How do we create commandments, co-creativity? How do we create reconciliation of the oneness of the paradox? We cannot appreciate, add value, or appreciate anything without contextual circumstance. We can't appreciate light without darkness, or success without setbacks, or allowing ourselves to accept the duality gives deeper meaning to every experience that we have. And so when we understand the contextual nature of the comparative analysis, we allow ourselves to embrace the appreciation of the differences, to appreciate the opposites. So many times working with people, and they have failures in their launches, products, services, solutions, or brands, and it teaches them something bigger and brighter than just the failure of the product, service, solution, or brand. It teaches them resilience. It allows them to elevate the desire that they must be what they can be. And later, this desire drives them to the major breakthroughs that make the difference, creating that success from that setback. Joy, strength, and wisdom are born from contrast, not in spite of it, but because of it. This is the idea of punishment versus protection, promotion, love, and perfection, allowing ourselves to utilize the appreciation of the contrast of light and dark, success and setbacks. Don't allow circumstance to stop you from where you want to be or better, or cast a shadow on your future. Give it the meaning to inspire, promote, protect, and love, and protect you in your divine direction. Let's identify at least one recent failure and start to list out 3 ways that it contributed to your success, your growth, your acceleration, your aggregation, or even compounded itself into a positive impact. Let's revisit how our past and the meaning of the past allows us to get to where we want to be or better, not casting a shadow, not creating resistance between you or distance between you and where you want to be. How has that past adversity built the skills, the knowledge, and the desire that you now rely on daily to get you to where you want to be? Embrace the opposites, understand the contrast, appreciate the differences. Be a both person, not a one or the other. Utilize the setbacks for success, the light and the darkness, in order to effectuate the contrast to get you to where you want to be or better. The second lesson is to practice the non-attachment. So many times we live in the world of I will be happy when, not for the sake of what. So many times we attach our emotions to an outcome, and we label them and our experiences as good or bad, which limits ourselves and our ability to see the value in them instead of the alignment of them. We need to let go of comparison and judgment and free up our energy and our intuition, intelligence, creativity, and resilience. The labels of good and bad are directional in nature, not qualitative in a moral stance. The irrelevance and relativity of morality is based upon good and bad, but good and bad are directional in their nature. All experiences that are good should be aligned with where we want to be or better, and you have the power to give meaning to align it. Bad behaviors are that which limits us or interferes with us. There's a relativity in the morality that we give things of good or bad as judgment and comparison that limits us or frees us of energy, co-creativity, and resilience. So many leaders that I work with, they lose a client, they lose an employee, they lose a relationship. But instead of spiraling, they expand into new niches with more clients, relationships, associates, and employees, more aligned with where they want to be or better, and more profitable. 80% of your business today most likely would bankrupt you, which means you haven't done the practice of non-attachment, the alignment, and let go of the conditions, comparisons, and judgments. And so 80% of your clients are either breaking you even or losing you money. And if all you had was clients that were breaking you even or losing you money, you'd be bankrupt. Utilizing the practice of non-attachment, for the sake of what am I working with this person internally or externally in order to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. Understand the relativity of morality, of good and bad, of comparative nature and judgment to free ourselves of energy, creativity, and resilience. Utilize detachment and understand that detachment doesn't mean non-determination. Detachment is not indifference. It's not a passive behavior. It is the free will that frees up the energy, creativity, and resilience by utilizing a directional evaluation of morality in the divine direction, good being in alignment with where I want to be or better, bad being interfering with it. The detachment is not indifference, it's presence without resistance. When you stop needing to control the outcomes and utilize some sort of pre-evaluation and relativity of outcomes, the better outcomes emerge. You see, surrender is a predisposition to the outcomes that will emerge. The outcomes should be where you want to be or better, knowing that you don't know what you don't know, knowing that it takes so many steps to get to where you want to be or better for the sake of where you want to be in the direction of what is good, good behaviors, and in the direction of dissolving, dissipating, and disappearing the bad, the interference between you and where you want to be or better. We need to remind, remember, and reflect on one challenge at a time, knowing that every challenge has a solution in it. It's just a lapse of time becomes a resolution, a resolution. So utilizing and shortening the distance of resistance between one challenge to the next, one solution to one resolution, and reframe it as accountability. What did I do to be responsible? What did I do to attract it? What did I do to participate in this perception? And most importantly, what am I supposed to learn from it, not lose from it? It is a lesson, not a loss. Catch yourself when you're judging, comparing, contrasting a situation this week. But instead of losing, stay curious. Be more interested than interesting for the sake of what am I doing this, and allow the experiences to align with where you want to be or better, and be good in their behavioral relativity of morality, and bad notating, shortening the distance of resistance with wisdom and faith of the bad behaviors that limit us and our self-image and our future. Notating, we will never overachieve our own self-image. We must practice non-attachment, and attachment is a predisposition of surrender to trusting that if our behaviors are aligned with where we want to be or better, we will get to where we want to be or better. We just don't know what we don't know, which leads us into the third lesson, which is lead with humility. My favorite quote as of today is, you're either humble or you're about to be. When we remind, remember, and recollect with humility that we don't know what we don't know, and even when there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be, that we're going to get to where we want to be or better. We are leading with humility, knowing that we don't know what we don't know. And even though there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be, we're going to get to where we want to be or even better. Lead with humility. Have a predisposition of surrender, and then be attentional and intentional, doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing your best, learning lessons and having fun in alignment with where you want to be or better, aligning the meaning of the past as well to not cast a shadow on your future. True leadership isn't about taking credit. It's about creating conditions for others to elevate, to rise, notating that when we elevate others, we elevate ourselves. All tides rise, all ships. True leadership is about inspiring and empowering others, asking for help and giving help, being a community of people that help each other and know people that help each other, that buy from each other and sell for each other for life. This is leading with humility. This is why we created our group of people, curated by people that can afford to be there and trust the fact that they're going to show up and receive the guarantee of being there, no matter what. If you're not a member of our group, you should be reaching out to us and lead with humility and join us. David@dmeltzer.com. So many managers that I work with, they deflect the praise and instead highlight their team's efforts. Strengthening the trust, the culture, the neighborhood, the frequency of the group, aligned with where they want to be or better, incentivized with the practices and values and execution model to support as a framework their desires. All the best leaders serve from behind. The less you need to own success, the more it multiplies. The more mission driven you are, the more commission you will drive. Be a leader. Lead with humility. Know that you will end up in the best place, regardless of the evidence, and the evidence is contrary to where you want to be or better. Identify the people that you can quietly support each and every day to elevate them with their skills, developing those, their knowledge of who and what, and increasing their desire to apply their why to everything they want to do or better. Make sure that you do say, think, feel, and believe each and every day how you can elevate other people to elevate other people without needing acknowledgement. The quid pro quo of giving is the more you give, the more you're given. You need to be able to allow yourself to be grateful in receiving it. And in that receipt is not acknowledgement. It's the ability to make and to know that you are making and knowing somebody else feels good by either helping them or allowing them to help you. This is leading with humility. Don't take credit. Create conditions for others to elevate. The fourth lesson in this paradoxical power is to apply the paradox to your business and your life. Paradoxical thinking isn't just philosophical thinking. It's a framework, a tactical advantage in times of change, conflict, and decision making. Notating that every time you make a decision, come to an agreement with yourself or others, implied, oral, written, even with consideration, the instant you come to that paradoxical thinking in the tactical decision-making process and agreement process, personally or professionally, time, emotion, and value changes. And it's the circumstances of those changes that will fatigue us, that will interfere with us to get to where we want to be or better, interfere with our potential. So many businesses hit plateaus. Instead of pushing harder, the founder steps back and utilizes the space between the notes to reveal new music, new opportunities, new options, new touches of favor in a more scalable model to make more money, help more people, and have more fun. When you can release the need to force outcomes that you think you want, You can access a higher level of intuition, intelligence, and inspiration and flow to get you to where you want to be or better. We need to constantly ask ourselves and others, what challenges am I trying too hard to fix? What if I was more intentional about my behaviors in a trajectory, a divine direction where I want to be or better, instead of trying to resist it and fix it? This is how to be a student of your calendar. We need to schedule space in our calendars to be open for activity that's not planned, not intentional in anything other than creating space to collaborate, coordinate, and command and see what rises or what reprioritizes. Utilizing the application of the paradox in our business and our life isn't just philosophical in its nature. It is a framework, a tactical advantage when time, emotion, and value changes and conflict and decisions arise that are different from or detour from where we think we want to be or better. Take a step back. Create some space between the notes to hear the music, to feel the flow, to get to where you want to be or better on the go. Just like our why, the thoughts about our paradox are a paradox. The thoughts about our purpose are a purpose. That's why we apply our why, applying the paradox to our business and our lives. Lesson number 5, practicing the laws of reciprocity, practicing the infinite loop of giving, studying the clues, the patterns, and the choices that we make in the practice of the infinite loop of giving. So many people, they believe, as I do, that the more you give, the more you receive. But yet so many of us don't like receiving. And there's a mathematical equation within the context of the law of reciprocity that says if you don't receive more than you give, you're going to end up at zero. It's called a zero-sum game. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of math. If you start with 100 and you give one away a day and only receive back a half, eventually you'll be at zero. We need to practice the infinite loop of giving by understanding philosophically, spiritually, religiously, theoretically what it is in the respect that giving is one, in the infinite loop that it is. An infinite loop is based off of a abundant, unified, infinite system of thought that's applicable to more than enough of everything for everyone, in the respect that if we give more, we will receive more, but not automatically. There's several steps of intention in order to facilitate practicing the law of reciprocity, that we need to give more, but elevate our awareness through gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability of all that we're given. You see, all those texts, all they really say is the more you give, the more you're given. They don't say the more you give, the more you receive. Because if you're not aware of, if you don't find the light, the love, and the lessons, if you don't use the lessons and the power of the paradox in order to see what you're given, you're going to end up in the zero-sum game. But even for those who do utilize gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability in order to see all that they're given, the light, the love, and the lessons, most people don't like to receive. They feel guilty and resentful. They don't feel good about themselves because they don't believe in the infinite loop. They don't believe in an infinite, abundant, unified system of more than enough of everything for everyone. Because if they did, they would gladly receive for the sake of giving more. And so I want you to think about receiving in the utilization of the practice of the laws of reciprocity and the infinite loop of giving, to remember that the easiest way to give somebody else passion, purpose, and fulfillment, to make them feel good, is to allow them to be capable and able of helping. When somebody is able and capable of helping another person, of giving to another person, they feel their highest self, their closestness of commandment, collaboration, and coordination with their higher self, their God. But every time you deny someone by not receiving, you cheat them of the highest feeling, the higher self, their practice of God. And yet so many of us feel bad about receiving when we should feel great about receiving by allowing someone to feel that good. Stop cheating other people. Stop cheating the infinite loop. Stop cheating the universe of more than enough. Give more, be given more, and receive more. But in the practice of law of process reciprocity, there's one more component of faith that is overlooked so much of the time. It is something that I teach so many people in all of the coaching, teaching, and mentorship that I do. It is not only to receive, but it is to have faith. There's more than enough of everything for everyone, and ask for more. Ask for more because there's more than enough. If you and I went to dinner and we had 100 meals stacked on our table, do you think people would feel bad about asking for one more? May I have one of your meals? Sure, I got 100. Well, it's actually, I have infinity of meals, and people are still afraid to ask for one of them. In the practice of the law of reciprocity, we need to give more, be given more, receive more, and ask for more than more. So that we can give more than more, be given more than more, receive more than more, and ask for more than more than more. That is not the zero-sum game. That is the more than enough game. So you know where you're going to end up when you're 80, with more than enough of everything for everyone. Practice the law of reciprocity by giving without the attachment, which will invite the infinite loop of abundance into your life, emotionally, spiritually, physically, philosophically, and materially. As I coach so many executives and executive mentors as rising leaders, I have no expectations. I have no expectations of who will later become what they become as speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, billionaires, millionaires, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, or key partners in any major deal. I just practice the law of reciprocity. I give more, I'm given more, I receive more, and I ask for more than more. Napoleon Hill teaches that when you give freely, the return shows up in ways you can't predict. So there may not be evidence, or the evidence may be contrary to where you want to be, but it's there, being in protecting, promoting, loving, perfecting you. But always when you need it most, it will appear. Napoleon Hill helps us in Think and Grow Rich and Outwitting the Devil in facilitating the practice of laws of reciprocity and the infinite loop of giving. Each day, I want you to give. Give something: money, advice, support, time, value, emotion, without the expectation of anything back as a preposition and a predisposition. Only utilizing your intention through gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability to see all that you're given and receive it. And then ask for more aligned with your divine direction of where you want to be or better. Elevating our awareness through this practice of the law of reciprocity, elevating our awareness through the infinite loop of giving, understanding we are part of a unified, abundant, infinite system of thought of more than enough of everything for everyone. Notice when generosity leads to unexpected opportunity, options, and touches of favor. Live in abundance, live in the infinite, live with the laws of reciprocity, give, be given, receive, and ask for more. Understand that the more interested you are, the more you will receive, with unexpected options, opportunities, and touches of favor. Looking back at living in a paradox, looking at the power of this paradox, from non-attachment to humility, reciprocity to reframing your failures, setbacks, mistakes, void, shortages, obstacles, we will discover how the teachings of Napoleon Hill are more relevant than ever in this fast-paced, hyper-connected world. We need to embrace the opposites, appreciate the differences, light to darkness, success to setbacks, allowing the duality to give us meaning to everything we see. Practicing the non-attachment is a predisposition for the sake of what? Not I will be happy when. Understanding labeling experiences good or bad will limit ourselves. It's only directional, not qualitative in its descriptive nature. Comparison and judgment are the thief of joy, of abundance. Reframe lessons, not loss. Utilize your meaning to align with where you want to be or better. Leading with humility, knowing you're either humble or you're about to be. You don't need credit, acknowledgement. True leadership needs none of that. We are only creating an opportunity, an option, a touch of favors to others to ride. We are buying from each other and selling for each other for life. Look for the who you can help and who can help you. Pick something each day in that infinite loop without acknowledgement or reward. Apply your why, apply your purpose, apply the paradox to their business and their life. It's not philosophical, it's tactical. It's an advantage. Allowing ourselves to give meaning to the time-valued emotions that change instantly after every decision, after every agreement, verbal, written, implied, even with consideration. Relieve yourself of the interference and fatigue that's created through this process. There is no plateau. There's plateau and go. Schedule space. Allow the music to be played between the notes. Utilize and be a student of the calendar. More than happy, once again, to give you this guide as well as a guide on the student of the calendar to find that space. You don't need to work so hard at fixing it. You can just use intention to facilitate it, to make it easy. In the infinite loop of giving lies the laws of reciprocity, to give more, be given more, receive more, and ask for more than more. So you can give more than more, be given more than more, receive more than more, and ask for more than more. Live in the world of more than enough. Let the paradox be your power. Live in the paradox. The greatest truths in life that have been given us through Napoleon Hill are often hidden in contradiction. And your pursuit of your potential, not what other people want for you, not what's missing, not what you don't have. In your pursuit of success, it's easy for us to believe that we will always push harder, know the answers, or be in control. As we leave this training, which I'll provide everyone an exercise guide and book on it, david@dmeltzer.com. david@dmeltzer.com. Let me invite you to lead with attention and intention. Embrace the uncertainty that exists each and every day outside of the 24 hours that you're guaranteed, the only certainty of the human experience, other than when your heart starts and stops. Find ease, find the peace in the tension between the opposites with appreciation, forgiveness, and accountability. Whether you're guiding a team, a family, a business, or simply navigating everyday life, let the paradox be your power. Choose service over ego. Utilize harmony and balance over burnout. Utilize presence over pressure. Because when you learn to live in the flow and figure out what you're doing to interfere with your potential, not in spite of the paradox, but because of it, you'll discover your greatest clarity, balance, focus, harmony, confidence, comfortability, and impact. Live in the paradox, and you will make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. This has been our weekly training for the Napoleon Hill Institute. God bless Napoleon Hill and all of our neighbors. We're here every Wednesday at Napoleon Hill. We do free Friday trainings on Friday. We're here every day. If you'd like the exercise and guide, if you'd like to come and join us in Ramona, Orange County, LA, Dallas, San Juan, Puerto Rico, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Most importantly, remember, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.